Good evening to all of you. Good evening, Vishwas. Good evening, Bhavna, Venkat, Chetan, Deepthi. Good evening. Okay, so have you gone through that PDF which I have shared yesterday? This PDF which I have shared yesterday, have you gone through that PDF regarding demographic dividend? Tell me honestly, have you gone through that PDF? Yes or no? No answers. Couldn't go through as I had my exam today. Link for the PDF. There is no link for the PDF. That PDF is shared in the group, Telegram group. Any doubt? See, these topics like urbanization, social issues, such kind of the topic, there is no need to go through again and again. One thing is, at the first time when you are going to go through this topic, okay, so go through this topic in very elaborative manner the first time, right? And just have a key structure of that thing in your mind, so that at the time when you are supposed to appear in the exam, then just before the exam, do for one revision the important points of that. So, for example, demographic dividend. So, demographic dividend means how you are going to be use your population to accelerate your economic growth. This is the basic concept of demographic dividend, right? What are the challenges of demographic dividend in India? What are the opportunities for demographic dividend in India? And how to address those challenges for demographic dividend in India. So these are the three basic themes on this topic, demographic dividend in India. So what you have to do, you must have some basic keywords in your mind, and when you are supposed to appear in the exam, just go through once again, okay, these are the important thing I have to keep in my mind. So why I have suggested you, once you will read that PDF, so because I have explained all these things yesterday. So if you are going through that PDF once right now, because yesterday I have done this part, so even yesterday or even today, you went through that PDF, it is going to be imprinted in your mind. So you just need one more revision before exam. In between, no need to go this material again, right? Because most probably only descriptive question will be there, and one question will be from that entire area. Either the question will be from affirmative action or urbanization or demographic dividend, one question will be there, right? So unnecessarily though, no need to push too much yourself. You have to tactically go through that area. Discriminative क्लास कब स्टार्ट होगा? What is discriminative? Descriptive or discriminative? I didn't get discriminative. What you are asking for descriptive? If you are asking for descriptive, I told that once I will finish that syllabus, only then I will start the descriptive part. If you are asking me regarding descriptive of my area, other English descriptive and other descriptive, I do not have any idea. So I told this thing many times. Ki let me finish. Even I told the in the paid group also. Let me finish this part. Only then I will go through the descriptive part. Telegram, that Telegram group for paid student. If you are a paid student, you can request to admin Nishi N. You can request to admin. If you are a paid student, you can request to admin. They will add you, or you can find the link in the Crack Grade B application itself. Schedule? Means what schedule? First, see, I will complete this part. Then I told that ki once I will finish the entire part, I will do the descriptive and daily revision. So probably from 17th or 18th, I will start doing this descriptive part plus daily revision part. So this is going to be your schedule. Okay. Sir, in this demographic dividend was asked last year in ESI. Okay. So basically, this is descriptive preparation. Yeah, see, descriptive preparation at your level and descriptive preparation with me or with my assistants. So I'm giving you all this content right now. Answer writing part we will do once this part will be over. Then we will see question wise. Right now we are going through topic wise. Right now we are going through topic wise. Once this will be over, we will go through what? Then we will go through this question answer wise. Okay. Sir, I have sent mail to your team as the link given in the course content is not working. Please resolve this issue. Link is given in your course content is not working. Okay. Okay. Do one thing, drop one more mail right now. I will discuss because asking your uh, contact details is not right at this platform. What I can suggest you, just send one more mail. I will ask them after the class to address your issue. Just do one thing. Please drop one more mail. Even I am paid great art. I'm paid student but unable to join the Telegram. I will make my best effort. Rest is up to you. For your means for my section economy and this part, I'm going to take that descriptive in my 100% capacity, right? But this is a subjective question ki whether you want to rely on me or not, that is up to you. I'm going to make my 100% effort. Just give me a second, I will talk to Ashok ji regarding this telegram issue. I have just shared the Telegram, means in the chat box, my Telegram username, economy by RT. Right. This is my username. I have just created this username on the Telegram. So those students who are having this difficulty to join this paid group, and they are the paid student, kindly send me your contact details on this number. I will ask the admin. He will add you. Don't worry. Ritra, thank you, sir, for awesome. You're awesome, and I also subscribe from the Grade B objective. होता है तो descriptive बहुत weak है. Don't worry, descriptive will be fine. See, once your basic fundamentals are going to strong, descriptive is also going to be fine. Don't worry for the descriptive. I understand there is a fear to write, because the nature of the exam, most of the exam you are going to appear that they are objective in the nature. So that fear is obvious and natural. If you have a fear of writing the exam, that is natural and obvious. Don't worry, gradually we will resolve this issue. Okay. आपके डिस्क्रिप्टिव क्लासेस के बाद ESI फाइनेंस का प्रॉब्लम कम करना होगा. ओके. थैंक यू सर. ओके Rutural, huh? And thank you for appreciation. I have sent message on the contact us option available on the site. Please resolve this issue. See, for contact us, I don't know how that contact us will work. I am a faculty. What I maximum can do, I will request to admin to resolve it. Or the other option, alternative option, I have already provided. So apart from that, I can't do anything. I'm a faculty. I do not look over the administrative part. But as Ashokji, maybe he is busy somewhere. He is not able to attend my call. Right. So I will tell him. Fine. So today we have to start this topic of urbanization in India. Again, if you have not read that demographic dividend part, kindly read that part. Once a reading is more than sufficient, because I have explained in very elaborative manner about the demography and demographic related dividend, what is it, how it can work, what are the pros and cons. All these things I have discussed in the last class. You just have to go through that PDF. Fine. And today we are going to take this topic of urbanization plus migration. Right? Urbanization and migration is today's topic. I'm going to share this urbanization PDF today, and migration related PDF I will share tomorrow, because there is a huge amount of data related to migration, and migration related question are more or less they are going to ask in the context of recent crisis. Right? Migration related question. Right. So in the context of recent crisis, so let me check uh, the economic survey part also. If something is substantive there, I will take and add, and then I will share. So what I mean to say is that I will share tomorrow the part of PDF related to migration. Both are important. Static and dynamic, both part are important. And generally descriptive questions are based on dynamic, right? So dynamic recent issues, they do ask the descriptive question based on that. Okay, so before discussing this PDF of urbanization, let's understand what is urbanization and why it is a topic, especially in the economy and especially under the RBI Grade B exam, right? So, though urbanization and migration, they are closely interrelated topic, but first understand the urbanization. Generally, on the basis of standards of living availability, on the basis of availability of standards of living, we categorize a geographical area into urban area and rural area. right? And rural area is dominant by agricultural and related economic activities, whereas urban areas are dominated by what? Industry and services sector, right? So industries and services sector, whereas the rural area is dominated by agriculture and related economic activities. So economic classification in this manner, generally the in general classification of urban area or rural area is in terms of availability of resources of standard of living. So people are leaving Ukraine and settling down in another country. Yes, it if that is, see, first of all, they settling means they are running out of their country on the temporary basis or permanent basis. One question. So if you will see the present context, people who are leaving the Ukraine, that is not by the will, that is by force, right? So that comes under forced migration. Okay, that comes under forced migration. So when there is a forced migration, the term settled is not used in general, because you are forced to migrate, and wherever you are not there by will or wish, you are there by force. So we have to see, when the situation in Ukraine is going to be normal. Once the situation in Ukraine is going to be normal, then what is going to happen with those migrants who left their country in the case of war like crisis? So if they are going to settle, when going to went back to their country, we cannot call it as a permanent migration, right? This is a forced and temporary migration, right? So that is forced and temporary migration. So in economics, we are not generally too much concerned with that forced kind of the migration. In economics, we are concerned with the more permanent and peaceful migration, right? This, which is based on will and wish, right? Will and wish. So we are concerned with that kind of the migration. Such kind of the migration is a domain of subject of political science and international relations. Political science and international related topics are there, means like forced migration, which is happening in right now Ukraine, under Ukrainian crisis. Sir, I had one doubt for the demographic dividend part. It said about increase fiscal space to divert resources from children. What it does mean? Space divert resources from children. How will middle class society rise, as it is said in PDF? Are detailed study for the underlying reasons important, or should I stick with that data given in the PDF? Acha, the detailed study of underlying reasons are important, or should I just stick with the data given? See, whatever is given in the PDF, that is sufficient. No need to go further. How will be the middle class society rise, as it is said in the PDF? Okay. Deepti, do one thing, because you have the doubts on this topic. You can ping me on Telegram. I will explain you. I will explain you. If other people have not did that work, I don't think they deserve this kind of the detailed discussion. Right. So I will discuss with you. You just ping me on Telegram. I will let you know. Okay. I will discuss with you. So that kind of the migration is not under the preview of what we are going to study for your exam or in the domain of economy. basically come in the domain of politics, right? So Chetan, I hope the thing is clear right now. Okay, so urbanization, right? Urbanization is a process where more people are going to be settled in the cities or urban places, right, in comparison to rural area of that particular country. A country's population or demographic status is going to be divided into two parts, urban and rural. And rising of urbanization, rise in urbanization, rise in urbanization is an indicator of rising, or better word is increasing economic growth in country. Increased economic growth in the country. So when the economic growth is going to increase, more and more urban centers are going to develop. Why? Because once the economic growth is going to be increased, people are going to have more purchasing power, and that purchasing power will allow them to go for more consumption. And in order to go for more consumption, especially in terms of what? In terms of industry and service sector related goods, and they are consumer durables. Though consumption goods, once the economy is going to grow, people's income is going to increase, their capacity to go for consumer durables and consumption goods is going to increase. But if you will compare, their capacity is going to increase manifold in the area of consumer durables, right? And they are basically available and they are easily attainable in the urban areas. So that's why when the economic growth will rises, then the urbanization is going to increase. But it doesn't mean that ki in the rural area the services are not going to be available. Area which is right now a rural area or semi-rural area, in next few years it is going to be what? Semi-urban and urban area. For example, Gurugram, Noida. These areas are purely what? They are the agriculture related area and they do not have any penetration of what? Urbanization. But right now they are considered as one of the satellite town. In fact, Gurgaon was the first satellite town of India, right? And it was organized and urban center is developed, right? So it doesn't mean that ki only those who are already as an urban center, this is an urban center, only this is going to expand. It doesn't mean that urbanization can be increased to that area or the rural area can be converted into the urban area. So when we say what? When we say urbanization, when we say urbanization, right? So what it means that suppose that this is the urban center. This is the urban center. Now this urban center is what? This urban center is expanding. The urban center is expanding and the nearby rural areas which are earlier a rural area, now they are also converting into the urban areas. Classic example is Delhi NCR. Delhi NCR. So Delhi NCR region, most of the area, if you will go back around 25 years back, if you will go 25 years, 30 years back, you will find the all the adjacent area of Delhi, they are rural or semi-rural or semi-urban area. But over the time, they developed as an urban centers, right? Big urban center like Noida and Gurugram, they are being as a big urban center right now, right? So this is the one kind of the urbanization. Whereas another kind of urbanization, because these are the adjacent area of big urban center. Whereas other kind of urbanization means what? This is the rural area. But gradually this rural area is going to be developed in a urban area. So that rural area is going to be converted into the urban area. Here, these are the rural areas. These are the rural areas earlier, but because of the influence of the nearby urban center, example Delhi, they developed as what? They developed as an urban center, right? But there are some areas who are not nearby any urban center, who are not nearby any center, they are purely a rural area, and they converted right now, they developed themselves into the urban area. So once the urbanization is going to increase any country, so if this is happening, if this is happening, this is significant. If this is happening, this is significant. But once the urbanization is going to increase, and this will start happening, this will start happening where the rural centers are converting into the urban center. Whereas in the earlier situation, urban center nearby, there are the rural centers, and they started converting into what? They started converting into the urban centers. So that is natural thing, that is natural thing. But this is the phenomenal thing, when the rural area itself is going to be converted into what? Urban area. What is the difference here? Because these rural areas are adjacent to urban area, so for them to acceleration from rural to urban is going to be quite fast and easy, because they are already have an urban area nearby. But this area, suppose that rural area, again rural area, again rural area. So all these are rural areas. But with some of the effect, this rural area able to convert itself into urban area, right? Then it is considered as a phenomenal thing for any country. So in India, both is happening, this and this. So many rural areas, they are slowly and gradually they are turning up to what? Urban areas. What means to rural area and urban area? So extreme rural area, this is extreme rural area, and this is extreme urban area. Metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, they are extreme urban centers, right? Like where the villages, extreme villages, right? So this is considered as a threshold. From here, you will tilt towards the urban. So India have tier 3, tier 4, tier 2 cities. So in the last few years, what is happening? A lot of tier 3 or tier 4 cities which are not in the picture, but gradually they are fast moving towards the big urbanization. So just urbanization, it doesn't mean that you are converting the rural area into urban area. Urbanization also means that those areas who are urban, but they do not have a proper facilities, all the facilities which is available in such kind of the metropolitan cities, like, so all these facilities are gradually developing in these areas. So there is a transformation of rural area to urban area. But again, what urbanization means, it also includes when a small urban area is going to incorporate all the facilities which are available in the bigger urban area. So that also comes in that category. For example, government has taken the initiative of what? 100 smart cities. So what is an objective of 100 smart cities? So we have only handful big urban areas like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, right? So they come as a prime cities of India, right? So now gradually we have to develop other cities like Chandigarh, also one of the biggest urban area, right? Jaipur, Lucknow, right? Raipur. So we want to develop all those cities at that class, at the class of what? The class of Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai. So such kind of the class we want to develop there. For example, right now, IPL is going at where? Mumbai and Pune. The present IPL having 10 teams. It is happening at Mumbai and Pune. Why? Vinay Srivastava sir, I am selected as a officer in RRB this year. My age is now 27 and I want to prepare for NABARD. So please guide me how. Vinay, I think you should contact first to Ashok ji. Right, how to prepare the particular subject. I can guide you in the best way, for example my area, but you are working, and in that context I think Ashok sir's advice is going to be more workable for you. I can advise you in my area ki this is uh, how you can go for it, but I think Ashok sir's experience is much better in this area, so you should contact him. He will assist you. Saurabh Singh, Kanpur too, sir. Yes, Kanpur also being there. Uh, Kanpur is always in heart. Okay, Vinay. So contact Ashok sir, and means if still have any doubt, let me know. I will assist in my area. Okay, Vinay. So can anybody crack it? Why this IPL is happening at Mumbai and Pune? Why not Delhi? Why not Chennai? Why not any other center? Any reason? Any cricket enthusiast who are here in this session can explain me in the context of urbanization what we are discussing today. In that context, you have to answer. You why the such kind of big event which is having the 10 team contest, and it is happening at Mumbai and Pune. Most of the people living in those cities from India. Most of the people living in those cities from India. What? I didn't get that, Venkat. Because of the investment majority in two type of the places. No, three in Mumbai. What three in Mumbai? Attraction point, economic capital is Mumbai. Three stadium, one Khede DY Patil and Robin. Three stadium. So all the facilities are available. If you will go through and find number of good hotels, especially 4 star or 5 star hotels, you will find the maximum number of hotels are available in the Mumbai in the nearby area. Right, the connectivity between these two cities, two big cities, is very good. Right, in terms of transportation between Mumbai and Pune. Right, so if you will look overall infrastructure facilities to accommodate such kind of the big event, they are all available there, right? And more importantly, if you will see the all kind of the connectivity, all kind of the resources, so all of them they are available, right? So Mumbai, you can say that, means anyone can say that it is one of the best city in terms of infrastructure development over the centuries in India, right? Because of being a financial capital. Initially, Mumbai and Kolkata started and they are neck to neck. They are neck to neck, but gradually over the time, Mumbai have taken the lead, right? Mumbai have taken the lead, and Mumbai's expansion is already going on towards the Navi Mumbai and the other adjacent area that is going to be expand. So a lot of expansion is going on there. Means the urban center, the urban center is start developing. But if you will see in the case of what? Kolkata, right? If you'll see in the case of West Bengal and Kolkata, apart from Kolkata, no other urban center is being there, right? But apart from Mumbai, the Pune is also one of the biggest hub and in the very nearby capacity. Fine, but in the case of Kolkata, such kind of the facilities are not available there. They have only one stadium, and the available resources are limited available there. Whereas in Delhi, again, you have one stadium only, and the other facilities, like because Delhi is also sensitive with respect to the political things, and whenever the parliamentary session is going to be there, most of the hotels are going to be occupied. Right, so it is going to be a little bit difficult to organize such kind of a big event where you are having many number of the people, right? And because it's a big urban center, the capacity of people to pay to in order to purchase the ticket is also higher than any other part of India. So all these reasons are responsible to conduct the IPL. So when you are going to conduct a big event in India, right? So you need what? You need a proper urban center. So that is why some Latin American countries and African countries, they have system of rotation of capital. Rotation of capital for 10 years, 15 years, that particular area is going to be what? Capital, and later on the capital will be shifted to another area. For example, right now, if any big games, for example, Commonwealth game, Asian game, Olympic game, all these are going to happen where? Delhi or Mumbai, right? Most probably all other games are going to happen in Delhi, because if you will compare track and field event and other events, the infrastructure facility is available only in Delhi in comparison to Mumbai. Mumbai maybe have three cricket stadium, but if you will look all other facilities, means for all track and field and athletic event, the facilities are all only available at where? Properly and in the organized manner. Facilities are available throughout the India, but available in the organized manner and the best manner only Delhi. So if you want to conduct Olympic, you want to conduct Asian Games, if you want to conduct Commonwealth Games, if you want to conduct any big game, right, which involve track and field event, you have only one option, that is what? Delhi, right? Whereas other countries, they have many options. For example, China, they are conducting Olympic and different places, Olympics, Winter Olympic, and even when they are going to conduct the Asian Games, they are conducting at the different areas because they have developed the urbanization center, right? So this shows China's capability to increase urbanization, right? So urbanization is also showing your capacity at cultural capacity, how you are able to conduct the cultural and sporting events, right? So when you are not just economically powerful, but you are also powerful in the sense of what? Every sense. Why people pay more attention to US? Not just because of the economic power. They have influence in all over the area. How many Chinese film generally you watch, right? How many Chinese actor do you know apart from Jackie Chan and one or two actors? But if we will say the name of Hollywood actors, the lot of names you can tell us that, right? Even the European actors, very few European actors you know, because they have worked in the Hollywood. So their food, their cultural, like movies, Oscars, right? People are not interested in the film fair, but they are interested in the Oscars. So all these things they have created, right? So just not because of an economic powerhouse or military powerhouse, US is doing good in every area, right? And all these things are because are have they have a better facility at their country, and especially in terms of urbanized center. So their urbanized centers are comprised of all good facilities, right? In order to develop the sporting things, cultural activities, right? So all these they are capable of implementing and executing at that places. So urbanization is also important in that sense if you want to increase your influence all over the world, right? So this is why generally when any country is rise on economic growth, country is rising in terms of economic growth, then there is obvious study with respect to what? Urbanization, right? Urbanization, and this government Amrut scheme and all these schemes are going to be implemented. Smart city schemes are going to be implemented by the government of India in order to promote the urbanization in India. Okay. Mumbai has many people like who have higher spending capacity for events like IPL. Yes, absolutely right. Virtually, Indonesia has shifted its capital earlier. Also, when there is the international event, security concerns are there, so better security can be provided in Delhi. The security point of view, it's fine, but you know the level of pollution in Delhi, right? The level of pollution in Delhi, and you are conducting the sporting event. जान लेनी है एथलीट्स की. Vishali, that because of gradual sinking of Jakarta. Yes, जितने यूएस वाले फिल्म में पैसा लगाते हैं इतने में तो इंडिया वाले रॉकेट बनाकर मून पर भेज देते हैं. See, to make yourself happy with such kind of feat is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing, right? What you are saying about to launch the rocket, I'll tell you the truth, right? You are able to launch the rocket because the rocket launching facility and the entire infrastructure is being subsidized by the government of India itself. Otherwise, forget about the launching of the rocket, right? Please talk in very realistic manner. Don't be over realistic, and there is no need to be over optimistic, right? Whatever is happening in the social media now, that is for the social media people who do not know the things in the proper manner. You are able to launch satellites at very cheap cost because the land, facility, scientists, engineers, all these getting the salary from the government of India, highly subsidized, highly subsidized. Come on the ground and establish your facility, then ask them ki how much you are going to charge to launch the satellite. Then you will know the real picture. Okay, then you will know the real picture ki how much money is required to launch a satellite and using the space launch facility, right? So that is not going to be a very big achievement overall, right? That is an achievement. I am not denying that ki that is not an achievement. That is an achievement, but that achievement is because in the background government of India is supporting, right? And the people who are making a movies in the Hollywood, they are doing on their own without any governmental support. Why people praise Elon Musk? The reason is what? Whatever he established on his own support without any incentive or any kind of the support from the US government. The SpaceX company is established by him without any kind of funding from the US government, right? All of the resources he have generated on his own without any US support of the US government. Fine. So don't go by such kind of what I can say is manipulation, right? Mission Mangal, that was fine. I'm not saying ki that was underachievement, but that happened because of the invisible hand of the government support. Okay. And if they are spending a lot of money to making the movie, at the same time they are earning also huge amount of money, right? So look at their script and look at the script of especially Bollywood script and Hollywood script. There is a difference of what? There is a difference of lizard and dinosaur, right? So don't go in that. So, why urbanization is important? Because it reflects your economic growth, number one. And as urbanization is going to increase, it will further accelerate your economic growth. First, urbanization is going to be with economic growth. Once you will start growing, your urbanization will increase. And at a point of time, this urbanization will further accelerate your economic growth, right? Because once the urbanization is going to increase, how it is going to increase? Lot of people will migrate to that area from the nearby area, right? So rising of the migrant people, right? Rising of the migrant people, and most of the migrant people, they start living on what? They start living on the rents, right? And the rental income is going to increase exceptionally. It means, for example, Delhi, cities like Delhi, Pune, Jaipur, or all these cities, all these big cities, there is a huge population which is living on the rent, and that rented income will allow the local people to spend more and more and to create further demand. And for that demand purpose, when you are going to provide the services, the service sector will also going to increase, and this service sector related job is going to further push the migration. In that way, the area is going to what? Expand and expand and expand. So initially you have to push the urbanization. With economic growth, you have to push the urbanization, and once the urbanization will further push your economic growth, right? So this is what first you scratch my back, then I will start scratching your back. So economic growth will help the urbanization, and later urbanization will help the economic growth. Any questions? Okay, so then let's start with this PDF. They have defined the urbanization. Urbanization is a form of social transformation from traditional rural society to modern industrial and urban communities. It is a long term continuous process. It's a continuous process, means urbanization is not going to stop. It is going to be continuous process. It is a progressive concentration of population in the urban unit. Kingsley David, you can ignore these names, right? You can ignore these names. As I told you in the last class also, I'm telling you this thing again. Uh, Okay, I will do one thing. I will filter out all these names, then I will share with you. I'm not going to share it right now. I will filter out these names, because there are few good studies in the form of PDF. They are available on the internet. I search all those, and whatever is good for point of view of your exam, I have extracted and I have compiled it here. But I miss some of these names, right? Some of these names. So what I will do, I will remove those names, because unnecessary it is going to create a pressure on you whether I have to remember this name or definition or not. So I will remove, then it will be a little bit easier for you to understand. You should keep in your mind, you should not, it is absolutely not required, no need to remember all these names. Even the single name, there is no need to remember any name, right? And don't think that if you are going to mention these names, you are going to get an extra marks. That is going to make happy oh, you know that. But the counter effect is what? Okay, maybe you are from that field, that's why you know that. Maybe you are from that field. For example, sometimes students write answer, right? They write answer, they are supposed to write an answer in general studies, right? And they are having economics as an optional, so they are unnecessarily going to mention such an economics like J.M. Keynes and all. You are going to write an answer on fiscal policy, right? So you have to write all the common things. You need not to mention those scholars like J.M. Keynes and other professors. You need not to mention because you are writing in general answer in the general studies. But they do mention and they think that I am going to get a very good marks, but it is going to backfire. So your answer is going to be look like a pretty ordinary answer. Why? Because you are from economics background, so you already know these things. So if you have written and all these names and all, so it's nothing new because you are from the economics field and you know that. That's why you have written. You have not put any extraordinary effort to write this thing. So they are not going to give you the extra marks if you are going to mention all these names while writing a general answer, right? So same thing apply in the RBA also, like in UPSC, right? So there is no absolutely no need. Fine. So has explained the urbanization as a process of switching from spread out of pattern of human settlement to one a concentric urban centers. अब देखो डेफिनेशन इन्होंने इतनी डिफिकल्ट दे दी कि आधी जनता ऐसे ही पागल हो जाएगी. Right? So absolutely not required. Go for it. The process of urbanization in India. The process of urbanization in India through history, because what distinguished India most from many other countries of the world, its long tradition of urbanization dating back from 5,000 years. Indus Valley civilization saw the birth of earliest urban settlement in the human history. So, if you will see the urban Indus Valley civilization, सिंधु घाटी सभ्यता हिंदी में कहते हैं. So if you will go by the Indus Valley civilization, lot of township, town planning, and all these things are properly visible. So that was proper urban center of that time, Sindhu Ghati Sabhyata, or in English, the Indus Valley civilization. Right. So the birth of the earliest settlement. Through the centuries, ancient period of our history, there were many we planned big beautiful cities in the different parts of our country. The process of urbanization in the developed countries, it characterized by the high level of urbanization. In the developed country is characterized by the high level of urbanization, and some of them they are in final stage of urbanization process. So here he is clearly mentioning the indicator of being a developed country. The indicator of being a developed country means what? You have big and large urbanization center. Now he is mentioning they are the final stage of urbanization process. Can anybody tell me why they have mentioned this word, the final stage of urbanization? Why they have mentioned the final stage of urbanization? Manish Getulio, hello sir. Big fan. First time I saw live session. I saw your classes on Grade B courses. It's amazing. Thank you, Manish. Thank you very much. Why they have mentioned the final stage of urbanization process? What is the reason why they have mentioned final stage? Here they are writing it is what? Urbanization is ever evolving process. Right. First they are saying that it is ever evolving process, but they are mentioning here the final stage of urbanization process. What it means that the final stage of urbanization process. Saturated all the requirement needs. Yeah, this is my question to you, Chetan. Earlier they have mentioned ever evolving process, but now they are mentioning here the final stage. Maybe because they are developed, not developing. Urban population ratio is high. Okay. Or maybe because of the climate change, there may not be any further progress. See, what they have mentioned above, it's a ever evolving process. It's a ever evolving process. What they want to say is, they want to say that ki we have to go for certain changes. We have to go for certain changes in the urban society. Urban societies are not going to have the same facility always being there, right? But when they say that the final stage of urbanization process, what they want to mean to say that ki because of rising climate change and related things, maybe some of the urban centers are going to not cope it up. They are not cope it up with the rising climate change and related issues. They are not able to cope it up. So maybe they are going to be what? They are going to be perished, or there will be no possibility to change. We have to shift from that center to other center. Many of the cities are going to be what? They are going to be submerged. They are going to merge in the water. So in that context, they are saying that the final stage of urbanization, further there is no chance to go for it, or you have to reverse the process. You have to reverse the process, and you must have to opt most and most climate friendly things, right? Zero carbon, right? So for zero carbon, going for the natural agriculture kind of the thing, what? You are back to the nature. You are going to give it up all these things, and you are going to, the best way of what? Best way of controlling the water pollution, stop using this bike, car and other things. Use a cycle, and you will be back to what? Back to be there where you have started the journey of motorized vehicle. Fine. So in that sense, they want to what? They just want to warn you. You are already moving towards what? Final stage of urbanization process. So this is kind of a statement, is not showing the process. It is showing a caution, a cautionary statement. You are already reaching there. That is evolving process, but the way you are going, you are not following the sustainable development activities. You are not following all the climate related concerns. You are not addressing those. So maybe you are heading towards what? Final stage of urbanization, right? So in that context, they have written that thing. Highly satisfactory facilities are abundant, so scope for further urbanization is less, although not stopping. Yes, satisfactory, but there is always a scope. Right now, people are thinking about the flying taxis, having the robotic, right? People are planning to have a football match. People are planning to have a football match between human and robots in 2050, right? So artificial intelligence, all these things are going to be there, right? So devices are right now available in the home, which is responsible for the cleaning, right? So cleaning activity is not going to be performed by the humans, that is going to be performed by the robots and machines. So that is evolving, and these things are going to come in the future also with the new technology. But too much dependence on the technology, and you are what? You are compromising with the nature earth, right? You are compromising with the climate, you are compromising with the sustainable development kind of the thing. Then that is why maybe all the technology whatever you have, you cannot going to reverse what you are doing right now, or and what you have done in the past and you are going to do in the future with respect to climate change. So at a point of time, it is going to be irreversible. And when it is going to be irreversible in context of climate change, right? In the context of climate change and pollution, it is going to be such kind of process. So whatever the technology you have, it is not going to help you, and you are going to bound to be perished. So that's why they have cautioned with the final stage of urbanization process. Okay. Is it clear? Further, growth of world population is supposed to take place in the urban areas, less developed countries, and contribution of India in terms of urban population size is quite substantial. India is India is one among country where the process of urbanization is integral part of the development. Right, integral part of the development. What they want to mean to say that further the growth of world population is supposed to take place in the urban areas of less developed countries, and the contribution of India in terms of urban population size is quite substantial. India is one of the among countries where the process of urbanization is an integral part of the development. Means in India, the rise of the urbanization and rise of what economic development went side by side. In some cases the economic development went ahead, but the rise of urbanized center was not, means they are not able to go side by side. For example, if in a country there was one urban center, right, and their economic growth starts rising, so only this center is increasing its size, the only one center, right? There is only one center which is increasing their size. Rest of the country is still what, urban or semi-urban, sorry, rural or semi-rural area, or a kind of urban area, but not as a big urban area, right? So in this country, what is happening in this country, urbanization is increasing, but it is limited to one area only. Other urban centers are not able to develop. But if you will look the growth of India, see, one term is rising urbanization, rising urban centers. Rising urbanization may be limited to one urban area which is going to be expanded, expand, and expand. That particular urban area is expanding. Whereas when we say the rising of the urban centers, it means that apart from this, there are the other urban centers established over the time, and they are also starts rising. So if you will see the growth of India, you will find that apart from Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai, other urban centers like Pune, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and other areas are also start rising. So in that context, they want to say that India is among the countries where the process of urbanization is an integral part of development, right? Now, according to 2011 census, sometimes census data is very important. 2011 census, 31 percentage of population of India lives under the urban areas. According to UN, the urban population of India will be less than 35%, less than 35% in 2020, and approximately it is going to be how much, 40% by 2030. So by 2020 we have only 35%. So that means in next 10 years, in next 10 years we are going to, next 10 years we are going to increase another 5% in the existing population to urban population. By 2030 another 225 million people will be added to India in the urban areas. It is more than the population of Japan and Germany combined, right? So this is the big data. This is the big data. Maybe the urban population, right? The urban population. Why the percentage is very low in context of India? I hope you are able to understand why India's population only 40% population. Only 40% population by 2030 is going to be in the urban cities. Right now, how much population? 35%. So 35% to 40% we are going to make it in the 10 years, next 10 years. So if you will see that percentage is very low. But the reason why this percentage is very low, because we are taking the percentage of India's population, which is already 140 crores. So if any country who have a small population, for them to increase the urbanization is little bit easier in comparison to country like India. If country like India able to increase urbanization to 40%, that is not a kind of what bad thing. It's a big achievement. Means 5% population. 5% population, if you are going to have a population somewhere around 150 crores, 150 crores population you are going to have by 2030, right? So 2030 you are going to have a population of how much? Population of 150 crores. So you are going to add 7.5 crore people extra in the urban center, and they themselves they are saying that whatever the amount we are going to add, 225 million people we are going to add in the urban areas, that is combinedly more than population of Germany and Japan. So population means whatever the Australia have a population, that population we are going to increase that amount of population every year. We are adding every year. In other words, before COVID, before COVID, the population, if you compare the population of Australia and the number of people who are traveling in trains in India, so more number of people are traveling in the train than population, entire population of Australia, right? So डायलॉग है ना, मीन्स इन द मूवी कि इस फैमिली में कितने मेंबर्स हैं, हाउ मेनी फैमिलीज आर इन दिस इंटायर house. So he said that ki hongi 30-40 means 30-40 families. Then he Rajpal Yadav said that ki why you are not going to declare as a district? इसको जिला क्यों नहीं घोषित कर देते? So we have such kind of population, right? So that's why increasing the urbanization is little bit challenging for India in comparison to any other country. Okay. This module aims to study, means whatever we are studying here, he is writing in that context, right? He is writing in that context. So what he studied in this entire PDF or study, he just want to do what? He want to study the present past tendency of urbanization and also growth in the cities, metropolitan cities, distribution of urban population, states, each and everything he has discussed in context of 1901 to 2011 census period. If you want the original data, I have that original PDF, the study given by one particular scholar from one university, but that PDF is very bulky and heavy PDF. It is absolutely not required the all data he have mentioned there. So I have extracted only those data which is relevant for your exam, and I am discussing with you. But still if you want the complete PDF, right, I will share with you. You can ping me on Telegram, I will share with you. चुप चुप के हाँ, जिला क्यों नहीं घोषित कर देते? In India, urbanization have been relatively slow. In India, urbanization is relatively slow during last century period as compared to the many other developing countries. So he is talking about 1950s to 1990. So in that phase, he is comparing that phase from 2001 to 2022. Right. So he is comparing these 22 years and last 50 years here. So everybody know that we have started the economic reforms process in 1990s, from where from that point we have accelerated our economic growth. So the obvious reason was at that point of in time India have a different way of doing the economic activity, and yes, we are slow, we do accept. It's no denying fact, that is fact ki our economic means urbanization growth was low and slow in the past century. Again, they have given the definition of urban places in Indian scenario. Because why he have mentioned the Indian scenario? He have mentioned the Indian scenario. Why? Because in the different part of the world there is a different definition regarding the urban center. अब आपकी population ज़्यादा है, you have higher population, so you are going to define the urban area or semi-urban area or rural area as per your definition, whereas the other countries they are going to define as per their definition, right? So Indian census defined the urban area into the census of India 2001. Two types of the towns were identified: statutory towns. So as per the census, we defined the urban area. One is statutory towns and other is census town. So in India, as per the Indian scenario, we have two kind of the urban center. One is statutory town and other is census town. So they have mentioned the first category of urban units is known as statutory town. These are town are notified under the law by the concerned state and union territory government and have a local bodies like municipal corporations, municipalities, municipal committees, etc. Means it is a prerogative of particular state, right, to define it, right. So I have asked this thing many times to the students, especially from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. For example, whenever they are going to mention the name of their state, they do mention district, Anandpur district, Anandpur district, right? So I just casually ask you, why you are mentioning the district? Is it required? Is it required? It's a district, right? So they are not able to give a satisfactory answer. They are just mentioning, they are saying that, no, sir, uh, that is obvious because everyone is using that thing, Sangareddy district. So I was just asking you, why you want to mention the district? Is it any need to mention that district? Anandpur is sufficient. While naming the Tirupati, you are not mentioning Tirupati district, right? You are mentioning the Tirupati, but in certain cases you are mentioning the district, right? So what is the need? Because they are notified by their state government as a district, right, or a Jilla Panchayat. So that is the economy given or the status given by the state government. So state government do provide this classification on the basis of the municipal area or the local body of that area. So this classification, that area is going to have a municipal corporation or that is going to have a municipality or it is going to have a municipal committee. So that is going to be depend upon the population. On the basis of population, that is going to be defined as what it is a municipal. It is going to have a municipal corporation or municipality, or it is going to have a municipal committee, right? And generally the basis of what population. But again, it's a discretion of state government what status they want to give it. Maybe population is not very much, but they want to give more authority and power to municipal committee, then they will change it from the municipal committee to municipality. And still they want to increase their power further, they can create a municipal corporations. So municipal corporation are having more power in comparison to the municipalities. They are having the more area of jurisdiction under them, right? So that happens. That happens. The another way of defining them are second category of town, that is what known as census town. So obviously they are being defined as per the census related criteria. So as per the census related criteria, they were identified on the basis of census 2001 data. So census 2001 data and not census 2011 data. So the question is, on the basis of which census data we define the town, census town in India. So answer is not 2011, answer is 2001. Got this or not? So to define the census town, they are saying that any place with the municipality, corporation or cantonment area or notified town area, that is going to be what? Census town. Any area minimum population of 5,000. If any area is having the minimum population of 5,000, that is going to be defined as what? Census town, right? At least 75% male working population engaged in non-agriculture activities. So how this is very important, if any urban area right now this urban area have population of 5,000 under the census of 2011. They have population of 5,000 under the census of 2011, but under the census of 2001 they have population of 3,500. So they are not going to be classified as census town, because for census town they are going to see the data of which census? 2001 census. So as per 2001 census, your population was 3,500 only, so you are not going to be considered as what? You are not going to be considered as what? You are not going to be considered as a census town, as per this criterion. Fine. तभी बीएमसी वाले जहां मन करे वहां बुलडोजर चला देते हैं। हाँ, तो बुलडोजर को रोकने के लिए श्रीकांत है, तो बुलडोजर बीएमसी के बुलडोजर को रोकने के लिए कौन है? श्रीकांत आ जाता है वहां पर। Why you are not considering that fact also? Right. So census town, if anybody is not able to get this joke, just leave it. Means what I have mentioned ki Shrikant come for stop the BMC bulldozer, that is based on one web series. So just ignore it. That is not related to this discussion. Okay. Now, so census town need these four criterion should be fulfilled. Again, you need not to emphasize on this data ki how we are going to define the census town, right? There is no need to emphasize too much. Our main concern is what? Ki what are the problems India is going to face related to urbanization? How to solve those problems, right? And how economic growth is going to play a role in the urbanization. So these are the kind of possibilities of questions in your exam. But because we want to understand and we want to put it in our mind, that's why I'm doing the detailed discussion. Okay. हाँ, इसमें सी everybody is able to know कि what is the name of the web series. The Family Man is the web series. And in which episode he made this dialogue? Even people are able to recall that episode also. हाँ, ये देखो चेतन, hello मात्रे, he remember the name of the BMC commissioner. This is what the interest means. If you have an interest in particular thing, then you are able to recall each and everything. So it's not just an interest, you must have to enjoy. If you are not enjoying, then it's going to be very difficult. And I'll tell you honestly, this part of the syllabus, every day when I'll start these topics like sense I means demographic dividend, multicultural, urbanization, all these kind of the topic, I try to motivate myself. No, they are also very important. You must have to go through, because what I feel that there is nothing like a critical thing or something for which you need my help and assistance to understand. What I feel that you are if you will read those things, you are automatically going to do that thing. So that is not pushing me to make an extra effort. Otherwise, in other things, always try to put an extra effort to make you understand. But when I found that these are the simple and easy things, it's not very difficult. So that is why sometimes I am going to miss those terms. For example, in the last class, many times rather than using this term demographic dividend, I was using the term economic dividend. Many times I have did this fumble and I was using economic dividend rather than using the demographic dividend. Why? Because I was not able to find extreme interesting. There is a topic like monetary policy, fiscal deficit, all the kind of the things. They are the core thing, and I know that you need some assistance and help. So that's when an extra effort is being there, and that is more interesting. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to put my 100% effort. I'm putting my 100% effort always. If I'm not able to do that, I will say that there is a technical issue. I am not able to take the class today, right? So if I am not finding myself self motivated, then I'll do this thing rather than going in the session with what, with 50% or half-hearted attempt. So I will suggest RBI people कि rather than asking these kind of the syllabus, just make a syllabus on Mirzapur and Family Man, such kind of web series, right? So you just add these web series and some of the melodrama like Anupama, like that, add in the syllabus and ask the question on that only rather than on these topics. Huh? What do you say about this idea? Okay, now come back to this topic. So they have mentioned five criterion to be defined as what? Census town. One is municipal corporation or municipality, any of this thing. Minimum population 5,000, 75% male working population is engaged in agriculture related activities. A density of population is 400 person per square kilometer, means at least 400 people should be in the 1 square kilometer area. All these conditions are satisfied, then that area will be known as town city. Urban agglomeration, right? Urban agglomeration means, I have explained this thing to you. Urban agglomeration generally means what? The adjacent area are also going to be developed. Urban agglomeration is a continuous urban spread constituting a town and its adjacent outgrowth. Adjacent outgrowth or two or more physically contiguous towns. Means adjacent towns like here is the Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon. So these are the urban agglomerations, right? Then everyone will clear the सभी टॉपर हो जाएंगे मुश्किल हो जाएगी No, 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 no. Don't think in that manner. You can prepare any episode which you want to prepare. Prepare it. I have a big trivias. I have very good number of the trivias on anything, and I will let you know. कि would you have enjoyed those dialogues only? You have not studied it properly. Right? There are the many facts and many things which are being there, but you are not able to notice it. You are not able to notice it. So don't be overconfident. Even you are going to fill in that also. Right. My friend means he is an IPS right now, and he loved to watch animation movies. Right. So in his UPSC interview, they have asked this question: what is the difference between anime and animations or cartoon? Anime and cartoon. What is the basic difference between anime and cartoon? Right. So we have prepared all the questionnaires. So that's why he was able to answer. But they have asked this question. In the cartoons, characters are never going to die. No bloodbath will be there. No violence, extreme kind of the violence will be there. So Japanese got saturated such with the such kind of the entertainment. So they have developed a kind of entertainment known as anime, where there is extreme violence, right? And extreme kind of the human behavior is possible. Whereas if you will see the Tom and Jerry, Tom is going to fall even from what? Stratosphere, right? He is going to fall on the earth and then he is going to stand up. So that is not going to happen in NM, right? It's more realistic or it's more extreme. Fine. So they can ask such kind of the questions also. So don't think that you are going to. Let's discuss tenet. If you want to discuss the tenet, first let me know about the Insomnia. Right, the movie of Insomnia, directed by the Christopher Nolan. Let me explain about that movie, then I will go for it. Okay, if you want to discuss Tenet. And forget about the Insomnia. Just try to find out the main story of Memento. Memento. one of the classic of him. If you are able to code it right, then I'll accept you are a genius. Go and watch that movie Memento, and if you are able to find who is exactly doing what, then I'll accept you are a genius. Memento. Right, written and directed by Christopher Nolan. Out of the context, because you have just asked me about the tenet, that's why I'm saying. Okay, now come back to the point. It's too much. Okay, now focus. So urban agglomeration, I have explained you. Now outgrowths. What is an outgrowth in the context of urbanization? An outgrowth is a viable unit such as village or hamlet or an enumeration block made up of such a village or hamlet that clearly identified in terms of its boundaries and location. Some of the example are the railway colonies, university campus, port area, military campus, which have come up near a statutory town outside its statutory limits, but within the revenue limits of a village or village contiguous town. When determining the outgrowth of a town, it has been ensured that that it possesses urban features in terms of what infrastructure amenities such as pakka road, electricity, tap, drainage system for the disposal water, and each and everything. So, example, Central Railway Colony, Triveni Nagar. He has mentioned some areas. So, for example, anybody from Vishakhapatnam? There is a Vishakhapatnam steel plant, right? Means whenever there is a big plant, wherever there is a big plant or railway colony or even many campus, university campuses, so they are actually what? They are not a notified kind of the area, but all the amenities which you can find in any urban center, you can find those amenities there. So that's why they are considered as a what? Outgrowths. How do you manage to watch movies and other activities in the busy schedule? During the lunch or dinner? Most of the time during lunch or dinner. So I watch the movies in parts, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. In that way, I do watch. I have collection of 7 terabytes. I love to watch such certain movies and I watch many times. I love those movies. So I have the collection of 7 terabytes. Many classic movies, almost IMDb, Internet Movie Database, all the good movies I already have and I have watched those movies. For Christopher Nolan, he is my one of the favorite director. Not favorite, but one of the favorite director. Watch all movies, even the very small short movie he has directed first time. He started directing them. He do not have a money, so he went for the kind of what collection of the money. He went to the particular festival and he requested many people ki please contribute some money so that I can start directing the movie. So he started his career in that way. And now he's what? He's a true genius. M. Night Shyamalan, again a true genius. Okay, so I hope you got understanding of this urban agglomeration and out of growth area, right? So population of UN towns, right? Urban areas and towns. So how you define the urban areas in India? Means from here, what we are going to do, classify the urban area and towns. So first is what? The first is they have mentioned the total urban population of country as per census 2011, that is 377 million, that constitute 31.16 population. So class 1 town, right? Class 1 town. So these are the classification. One is class 1 town, another is million plus, third is mega cities. Then they have defined mega cities. So in three categorization they have went for. One is what? UA, a group of grouped on the basis of population in the census, which have at least how much? 1000 person, 1 lakh person, sorry, 1 lakh person as a population categorized as class 1 UA town in the census of 2011. So 1 lakh population. Yes, I have watched that. Now come back to the point, Chetan, Vishwas, focus on the topic. We will have this kind of the chat later on, right? But first, just go this thing, finish it. At the end of the session, if you want to ask any other question related to studies, I'll answer the question. But right now, focus on it, right? So three category. One is with at least how much population? At least 1 lakh population, million plus population, 1 million and above, right? Then mega cities, 10 million person. So mega cities are the Greater Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata. So basically, they have defined urban centers in India in three category: mega cities, million plus, and class one town, right? So if the population is above 10 million, 1 crore means above 1 crore, then it is what? Mega city. Below 1 crore to 10 lakh, from 10 lakh to 1 crore, it is million plus urban area, right, or town, or class 1 town that is having the population of more than 1 lakh. Okay, so in that three way they have what? Explained how the urban areas are in India. Causes of urbanization in India. Though it is not important, but you just know it should not be like what are the causes of urbanization in India. It should be like that causes of urbanization in general. There is nothing like for India. Whatever he has mentioned here, all these reasons are common reason for any country to go for urbanization, industrialization, commercialization, social benefit and services. What is social benefit and services? I hope there is no need to discuss this industrialization and commercialization. Right. Commercialization, what commercialization means? Ki earlier those things are being there, but it is not being monetized. Now those services are properly monetized in that particular area. So in that context, they are talking urbanization and commercialization. Social benefits and services. There are much numerous social benefits attributes to the life in the cities and town. Example include better education facilities, better living standard, better sanitation, and all. Education in India, specifically education. So for the good education, people want to go for particular city. In that city, we have a better college. Even in the rural area, there is a college, but people generally prefer to go to the urban centers for their education, right? So that social benefits come under that category. Employment opportunities, modernization, and changes in the mode of living, right? Then rural to urban transformation. Fine. So all these things you just have to go through it. There is no nothing like you are not able to understand. Salient features of Indian urban centers: size, marriage. See, in the case of urban cities, urban areas, urban communities, there is a predominance of love marriage and the intercaste marriages, whereas come to the greater number of the divorces. Son and daughter enjoy the considerable freedom in choosing their life partners. So it is a feature of what? It is a feature of Indian urban centers, right? So in the comparison to Indian urban center and rural center, if you will compare, you will find that the predominance of the love marriage, love marriage, and intercaste marriage, which is highly unlikely in case of what? Rural area. It's little bit what lower side, such kind of a thing, and one can common across the greater number of divorce also, right? So because the city life or the urban life is quite complicated, राइट। तो पहले क्या है, first people get for fall in love, and once you will fall, you will always fall, you can never rise, right? So don't fall, be rational, right? So once you will fall, you will be remain falling and falling and falling, and at a time you are going to fall finally, right? So those people who are thinking, be optimistic. I'm not saying that you should be pessimistic, it's up to you, but you can see that is based on what? Data and fact provided by a good scholar. Okay, so class extremes. What class extreme means? Class extreme means in the urban centers you will find the extreme rich people, extremely rich people. At the same time, you are also going to find extreme poor people. So the urbanization also have such kind of the class extremities. Social heterogeneity. If villages are the symbol of cultural hegemony, cities are symbolize cultural heterogeneity. Different kind of the culture, different kind of religion, all these things are being clearly visible, right, in the urban centers. Whereas in the villages, you will find the cultural homogeneity. Whereas in the cities, you will find the cultural heterogeneity. Heterogeneity means multiple culture, ethnicity, all are going to be there in the urban centers. What social distance means? I'm not going to provide you the detail, but they have mentioned social distance. So, in the urbanization context, what they mean by the social distance? Why they have mentioned this term social distance? I will not allow to you to read. Just try to guess in what context they are writing here. The social distance is clearly visible, and in what it is clearly visible in urban centers. Anyone want to try? What social distance means in context of urbanization? Anyone want to try? Hmm. Nobody want to like to involve in the life of others. It could be due to the large population and difficult cultural and religion. People from Delhi, come on. The best thing means, or not best. It's not appropriate to call it the best thing, but it's one of the common thing. The person who is living on the second floor, he don't know who is living on the first floor, right? Until unless there is a shouting or kind of the fighting is going into that home, until unless people are not going to have an interest ki what is happening, right? So until unless some extreme social activities are being there, people are not interested whosoever is living in the nearby or the first floor or ground floor or above my floor, right? They are not interested because in the urban areas people have very busy lives, so they do not have a quality time to interact with other people, right? So this is what they are mentioning here as a social distance, not in the context of coronavirus, but in context of urbanization virus. Okay. System of interaction. System of interaction, what? There is a wide area of interaction system per man and per aggregate. This makes city more complex and varied. The city life is characterized by the predominance of secondary contacts, impersonal, casual, short-lived relations. Man and their rate is what he want to say that the system of interaction in the villages there is a what? Chacha, bua, means these terminologies are being used, right? Pupa, right? So means if anyone is from north and they are from other region and they do not know these terms, these are the common terms which is used in the family to call someone. The common name in the village, are chacha. Chacha means he is akin to my father's brother, right? So chacha term is quietly used. Or chicha in Hyderabad, chicha, right? So chicha or chacha, right? Mama. So these people generally have a kind of interaction in these terms. They are calling with this family kind of the bonding is being there. In cities, the common thing is uncle and auntie. Doesn't matter from which side the uncle, paternal uncle, right? Paternal auntie, maternal auntie, right? There is no bua, mosi kind of the thing, right? And if you are going to say somebody, कि अरे मौसी जी तो she is going to be offended. Why you are means trying to have a relation with myself means you just call me what, and that is sufficient. Why you are calling me Mosi? They are maybe some people are getting offended. Why you want to have a relationship with us? Right? We are not interested to establish a kind of being a relationship with our neighbors. You are just a neighbor, right? So whereas in the villages you can find it very normal thing. In the villages, if you are going to call uncle and auntie, so they are going to be get offended, right? So system of interaction in the urban cities, they are short lived, they are not long lasting, they are short lived, and they are basically based on needs, right? It could be due to the large population, Acha. Even we see our relatives in the market or wedding, we try to make distance. We behave like but sir, in the same time, it is said that we should move to cities for the better social life. Nobody said that the better social life. No, 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 no. Better life. Better life you are going to have. Right. Better personal life you are going to have. Cities are hell in terms of social life. Right. The aggressive behavior, impulsive behavior, all is the result of the city life. See how frustrated people are in Delhi on the roads. They start if because you I think you have seen this behavior. I will mimic that behavior. If people are on the traffic, right, and all of a sudden what happens, somebody's car is broke down on the red light and he's not able to move because his car is broke down and he's not able to start. So people are not interested to know why his or her car is not getting started. Right. So first of all, they will honk, 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 and honk, and then they finally find it out that the car is not moving, then they will look backward and they'll ask the other guy who is just behind their car, just thoda sa piche lo, and they will try to adjust, and they will come from the car is there. His car is means the first car, the second car. The second car people will go back and then they move here, and when they are going to have a eye contact kind of the thing with that person whose car is not getting started, you know how they behave like this. They will stare and they will abuse, and then they will move. They are not interested to know what happened, why the person is not able to move his car. Nobody will come out and help them. So this is the frustrated behavior of the people, because everybody is getting late. Everybody is getting late, but nobody is able to reach on time. So this is the kind of the frustrating behavior. So social life, cities do not have a social life. That is nonsense. People give each other space in the urban cities, unlike in the rural areas where everyone involved in the activities of others' life. That is also true. That is also true. That is very means good observation, right? But why this happen? Why this happen in the urban areas? Because actually people are interested. People are interested. That is human nature to know what is happening in others' life. They are more interested, even they are more interested to know what is happening in others life. But because of your work and the way of your life you have in the urban cities, you are not going to get the time, right? You are not going to get a time to be involved there. So city people have very limited amount of time to for themselves, so that's why they are not able to involve with others life. In the rural area, because the main state activity is agriculture activity, and people have unnecessary over an extra time, right, over an extra time, so they are unnecessarily over involved in the other person's life activity. This is the reason. See, means we cannot blame a particular person for this his aggressive or impulsive behavior. That is all about the city life. That is all about the city life. As fast city is, as much frustrated people you are going to see in the public places, right? The city which is very fast, you are going to, but that aggression, for example, if you'll compare the Mumbai and Delhi, right, people are unnecessarily over aggressive in Delhi in comparison to Mumbai is also having the very fast life. But if you will compare, I'm not saying that there is no aggression in the Mumbai in comparison to the Delhi, but if you will compare the social behavior or the public behavior in two cities are having kind of what in the public behavior, if you will see and observe, you will find the public behavior is more aggressive and impulsive in Delhi in comparison to what, in comparison to Mumbai. Every day, almost every day, one people is going to lose their life in Delhi NCR region because of the parking related quarrel. Almost daily one life is going to be there, right? Okay, there is no need to go in that debate which life is good. Every life, or the rural life or the urban life, or both of them, they have some pros and cons. So we cannot judge it that that life is good or that life is bad. After a certain point of time in the urban life, you want to switch to the rural life, and at a point of time from the rural life, you want to switch to urban life. Okay. So all these features they have mentioned: mobility, materialism, individualism, rationality, anonymity, right? High population density, cultural heterogeneity, lot of things is being here, right? Regarding what? Regarding the urbanization in India, they have mentioned in the detail. So nuclear family, self-living, ekla chalo, right? So all these are what? All these are the features of urbanization. Normal and social role conflict. Normal role conflict and social role conflict. In the social space, you are showing a different life, and in the normal person as an individual, you have a different life. So two kind of the life is being there. Rapid social and cultural changes. They are very visible. What I just told you. Voluntary association. Urban communities is characterized by the impersonal, mechanical, and formal social contacts occurring among the people. Naturally, they have a strong desire for a developing genuine social relationship to satisfy their hunger of emotion, warmth, and sense of security. That's why you can find what? Buildings. People will prefer to live in the flats rather than what? Rather than in a single house. So this is the reason, because you know that you need a sense of security. So in that sense, they are mentioning this thing. Formal social control, secularization of the outlook, right? Modernization. Just go through that. They are very simple. Those things. I'll send that PDF. Just I will remove those certain names. I will share that PDF. Trends in urban process in India. So here they have mentioned the trend, right? How this urbanization happened in India, and you can see this census year, percentage of population 10%, 10.23. So if you will see till then here, right? So here +1%, almost +1, +1, +1 from here to here, that is 4%, right? But again from here, it is almost stagnated from 51 to 71. From 81, it starts increasing 2%, then again 2%, and from 27 to 31, right? Again 4% jump, again 4% jump, and it is expected again there will be the 4% jump around 4%, and it will be going to be around 35%. So that jump is remarkable. So if you will see from here till then here, what they have mentioned in this century, the urbanization growth was slow, but from here urbanization has taken what? Urbanization has accelerated. So here you can see that on an average it is growing with 1%, But from here, that growth is 4% on annual means in a 10 year. Okay, total population and urban population, right? And they have just discussed what we have analyzed here. They have discussed here, right? Again, they have mentioned the growth in the cities, this data, but that data is not quite important. Okay. Then in this, they have shown how level of urbanization in India, right? With the map, they have mentioned above 50%, 30 to 50%, below 15%. You can see that these areas, whereas urbanization is very high in this region, this region. So level of urbanization they have mentioned. Level of urbanization in India 2011, 42% and above. So they have shown some data. So that is not, again, there is no need to memorize. Just for your better understanding, I have shown this data. That means do not consider that data is necessary, right? Then they have mentioned the effects of urbanization in India. So what I will do, I will, what I told you, I will remove certain names and other things from this PDF, and then I will share with you. I will share with you tonight or possibly tomorrow morning. I will share with you from here. Just go through that, right? Because we already have discussed the positive and negative effect of the urbanization in India, but at least you have to go through. Okay. They have mentioned degradation of environmental quality, environmental related problem. All these things they have mentioned in the very illicit manner. Then they have mentioned the remedial for urban problems in India. Ki how you can solve those problems like urban traffic, crime, all these things, how you can resolve it. It is clearly mentioned here, right? So it is clearly mentioned means nothing is here which you are not able to understand. Just go through that, read it. If you have any doubt, ask me, I will explain it tomorrow. Just give me some time, so I will edit and I will discard those unnecessary things, because still I have already discarded many things, but few things are missed by me. So I will go by the second reading and I will remove those unnecessary things also. So it is going to be a perfectly good PDF for you for understanding this urbanization. Business letter tomorrow. Okay, fine. Vijay, you can get this PDF on the paid group Telegram channel. Paid group Telegram channel, you will find it there. Okay. So just give me some time. By tomorrow morning or tonight, I will share this PDF again. Means I will edit, then I will share. Okay. So migration will not take too much time. Migration I will explain in starting 10 to 15 minutes. Then I will start another topic. Link of the group. Link of the group, you can ask to admin Ashok sir. He will provide you the link of group of paid student. You will find it from him, or I think that is also available in the application. Okay. Any questions, or should I wind up this session? Any questions? Different, they are different. They are different. There are some PDF which is shared by me, right, and some printed. Most of the printed material it is available there. That is different. Hmm. Okay then. Good night. See you tomorrow, 8:30. Okay. Bye bye. Good night.